The galaxy never took humanity seriously. For years, alien civilizations watched human ships and laughed. Their metal looked old. Their engines made strange sounds. Their armor was scratched and brown like rusted iron. Every alien commander called the human fleet the Scrapyard Navy. But Commander Aaron, standing on the bridge of the oldest battleship Horizon 3, did not care about their jokes. He knew one truth that no alien had ever discovered. Human ships were old on purpose. They were not weak. They were not slow. They were simply hiding something. And tonight, the galaxy was about to see that hidden truth. The battle map in front of Aaron glowed red. The Dominion, the most powerful alien empire in the region, had arrived with a massive armada. Thousands of their silver warships formed a deadly wall around the human fleet. Their ships were sleek, modern, perfect. Every laser cannon, every shield, every engine was top class. The aliens were confident. Too confident. The Dominion warlord, sitting inside his command ship Helion's Pride, grinned. "These humans will surrender in minutes," he said. "Their fleet looks like floating trash." His officers laughed. His gunners laughed. Even his pilots joked about how they would collect human ships as souvenirs. But something strange happened. The human fleet did not run. They did not charge. They did not send any threat message. They simply floated in space like calm ghosts. Old, rusty, quiet ghosts. The warlord frowned. "Why are they not moving? What are they planning?" His sensors officer replied, "Their ships are forming a pattern, sir. But it does not match any known battle formation." Back on Horizon 3, Commander Aaron watched the star near them. An old, dying star that had lost most of its light. It was dim, weak, and ignored by the galaxy for centuries. But not by humans. For humans, this dying star held a secret. Aaron turned to his crew. Their uniforms were simple. Their ship was old. But their eyes were calm. "Begin the Starlink sequence," Aaron said quietly. His crew did not hesitate. They knew this moment had been prepared for generations. The ship released a soft blue pulse. It looked harmless. It looked small. But it was enough. The dying star responded. First its light flickered. Then it glowed brighter than before. Then its gravity began to twist like a storm. Alien sensors went mad. On the Dominion ships, alarms exploded. Warning. Gravity spike. Unstable star activity detected. This is impossible. Stars don't react like this. The warlord's smile disappeared. What have the humans done? Aaron stood calm. This was exactly the reaction he expected. The rusty human ships suddenly started glowing with thin lines of deep golden light. Their old metal began shining. Their engines produced a soft humming sound, a sound no alien had ever heard before. These ships were not old. They were ancient. And their technology was not weak. It was simply too advanced for the galaxy to understand. Aaron whispered, "Let them see, asterisk." The human fleet completed the formation. The star pulsed again. A shockwave rolled across space, passing through Dominion ships like wind. The aliens panicked. Shields dropping. "Unidentified energy is reading inside our systems. Sir, the star, it is changing shape." The warlord shouted, "Fire. Destroy the human fleet." But before his weapons could activate, the star did something no star had ever done. It opened. Like a giant golden eye. A swirling doorway of light and gravity. The galaxy had never seen anything like it. The humans had. For thousands of years, they had guarded this knowledge. Their ancestors had discovered old pathways hidden inside stars. Pathways that could reshape time, gravity, and destiny itself. The rusty fleet was never a weakness. It was a disguise. To hide the keys. The star roared to life, shooting massive streams of golden energy across space. The Dominion ships pulled back in fear. "What is this?" the warlord screamed. Aaron finally spoke, his voice steady, almost calm. "Today the galaxy will learn why humans never throw anything away." The Horizon 3 connected fully to the star. Energy flowed through the fleet like lightning. Old engines began spinning with new power. Old metal burned with ancient symbols. Old ships looked alive. Inside the warlord's ship, panic spread. "Sir, their energy levels are rising beyond limits. Our targeting systems cannot lock on them. They are controlling the star." The warlord stared in disbelief. These rust buckets were hiding this much power? No one answered him. Because the star was preparing for the final step. Aaron lifted his hand slowly. Every human captain waited. Every crew member held their breath. The star's light expanded, brighter, brighter, bright enough to turn space into gold. Aaron gave the order. Activate the stellar rewrite. And the moment he said those words, the galaxy changed. The rusty fleet, the fleet everyone mocked, began rewriting the battlefield, rewriting the star, rewriting the future. And in that moment, the Dominion finally understood. Humanity was not weak. Humanity was ancient. And their destiny was far greater than anyone had ever imagined. The moment Commander Aaron ordered, "Activate the stellar rewrite," the entire battlefield fell silent. The star's golden light spread like a giant wave, bending space, distorting time, and freezing every Dominion ship in shock. The alien armada, once loud and confident, was now quiet, almost afraid to breathe. Inside the Dominion flagship, the warlord stared at the glowing star with wide eyes. "Stellar rewrite," he whispered. "Humans control such technology?" His officers did not answer. Their screens flickered with strange symbols they had never seen before. Their engines began to slow. Their shields trembled under an invisible force. It was as if the star itself was watching them. On Horizon 3, Aaron felt the ship vibrate with ancient power. The old metal plates on the walls glowed with golden lines, like forgotten writing waking up after centuries of sleep. For a moment, the crew could only watch in awe. Lieutenant Mara, the youngest officer on the ship, swallowed hard. "Sir, what exactly are we activating?" Aaron did not answer immediately. He touched the console gently as if touching an old friend. "The truth," he finally said. "A truth our ancestors kept hidden for thousands of years. White medium star centuries ago, humanity's discovery. Long before humanity reached its modern age, long before they joined the galactic community, they stumbled upon something impossible. A star that behaved like a living machine. Human explorers had found a strange pattern of energy inside the star's core, a pattern that responded to simple signals. For decades, early scientists studied it, believing it was natural. It wasn't. It was artificial. A doorway. A mechanism. A part of an ancient system older than any known civilization. Humanity realized something dangerous. Whoever built this system had vanished, leaving behind tools capable of reshaping the galaxy. So humans made a choice. They kept it secret. They built ships around this technology, hiding it inside old designs so no alien empire would suspect anything. The rusty look wasn't weakness. It was camouflage. A mask protecting the greatest power ever discovered. Back in the present, Aaron watched Dominion ships panic. Some tried firing, but their lasers bent away from the golden light. Some tried running, but their engines refused to ignite. Some sent distress signals, but the star swallowed the transmissions. The warlord growled. "Open fire. Hit the Horizon 3 with everything we have." But only one lonely plasma bolt escaped. It drifted forward slowly, harmlessly, before breaking apart like dust. Aaron exhaled softly. "The star is rewriting local physics," he said. "Their weapons can't function." Lieutenant Mara stepped closer. "Sir, if the star can rewrite physics, then can it also rewrite?" Aaron nodded. "Yes. Destiny. White medium star, humanity's hidden plan." The golden light continued to grow, linking each human ship together through thin streams of energy. The entire fleet hummed like a single gigantic machine. Every rusty engine now glowed bright. Every old hull looked alive. Every forgotten symbol shone like a star. Aaron remembered the last message left by the ancient human researchers, recorded hundreds of years ago. "If the galaxy threatens Earth, activate the rewrite. Restore the old pathways. Let humanity decide its own future." This was humanity's final defense. The Dominion thought they were attacking a weak species. But they had awakened something far more powerful. White medium star, the Dominion's desperation. Aboard Helion's pride, the warlord slammed his claws on the control panel. "This is not possible. Humans cannot control stars." His science officer trembled. "Sir, the data suggests they are not controlling it. They are unlocking it." "Unlocking what?" "A network. A star network. Something ancient." The warlord froze as the star's golden light reflected in his cold eyes. "Retreat," he whispered. "We must retreat before." But retreat was impossible. Their navigation systems were dead. Their jump drives would not activate. The star held them in place like insects caught in amber. White medium star, the star opens further. On the Horizon 3, alarms began ringing, not warnings but confirmations. Star core alignment complete. Energy channels linked across all ships. Rewrite Stage 1, ready? Aaron's voice remained calm. "Begin Phase 1. Shift the star path." A sudden pulse of golden energy shot out from the fleet. The star changed shape again, its light stretching into a long spiraling tunnel. Beyond that tunnel, something glowed softly, like a distant beacon. Lieutenant Mara stared. That's another star. A different star. Aaron nodded. Yes, a rewrite path. Our ancestors traveled through these long before warp drives existed. Mara whispered, we were never the newcomers, were we? Aaron smiled faintly. No. Humanity was simply returning to something old. White medium star, the galaxy feels the shockwave. Light from the dying star burst outward, reaching neighboring systems within seconds. Alien civilizations across the region watched their sensors spike. Some thought a supernova was happening. Some thought a new weapon had been created. Some believed a cosmic disaster was unfolding. But one thing was clear. The humans, the species everyone mocked, had awakened something that should have stayed asleep. And nothing in the galaxy would ever be the same again. Commander Aaron faced his crew. Prepare for the second phase of the rewrite. Outside the window, Dominion ships floated helplessly in golden light. Their laughter had ended. Their pride was broken. And humanity's ancient power had only just begun to wake up. The golden light around the dying star grew stronger, brighter, and more alive. It moved like a living creature, swirling around the rusty human ships and forming large spirals of pure energy. Every Dominion officer watching it felt a cold fear inside their chest. Nothing in the galaxy behaved like this. No natural star could do this. No modern race could control it. And yet, the humans were doing it with rusty old ships. White medium star Dominion panic. On the Dominion flagship Helion's Pride, chaos spread like wildfire. Engineers shouted over exploding alarms. Pilots pushed buttons that didn't respond. Weapons officers stared at their screens in disbelief. Our systems are shutting down. Star gravity is changing every second. We cannot target anything. We can't even turn. The warlord clenched his teeth. How are these humans doing this? Their ships are ancient. His science officer swallowed hard. Sir, I believe the humans were hiding this technology. For centuries. Maybe longer. The warlord growled, hiding it? For what purpose? The officer whispered, to use it when the galaxy least expected it. White medium star, the human fleet transforms. Back on Horizon 3, Commander Aaron watched the fleet with steady eyes. Golden energy threads connected each ship like a web of light. The rusty hulls looked cleaner, brighter, almost reborn. Lieutenant Mara stared in amazement. Sir, the ships look like new. Aaron shook his head. They are not new. They are finally waking up. Another officer, Jalen, added. Sir, energy readings are rising beyond known limits. Aaron replied, good. That means the rewrite is working. White medium star, the rewrite path expands. The dying star pulsed again. This time, the pulse created something massive. A long bridge of swirling golden light stretching across space. Not a teleporter. Not a wormhole. Something older. A rewrite path. A road between stars created by bending gravity and time itself. Mara whispered, it's beautiful. Aaron replied quietly, it is dangerous. And powerful. And it belongs to us. The human fleet slowly aligned with the glowing pathway. But they were not alone. The Dominion watched with fear as the path opened wider, revealing distant star systems inside it. Systems untouched, unexplored, forgotten by the galaxy. Sir, Mara said softly, this path, where does it lead? Aaron answered, to the place our ancestors never finished exploring. White medium star Dominion's last attempt. The warlord slammed his claws against his chair. We cannot allow them to escape. If they enter that path, they may gain power beyond anything we know. He pointed at the human fleet. Target their lead ship. Fire everything manually if you must. The weapons officers tried. They really did. They pressed every button. They pulled every lever. They tried emergency overrides. Nothing worked. Every weapon system blinked red. The star's golden energy simply refused to let Dominion weapons activate. The warlord roared, why? The science officer answered in a shaking voice. Because, sir, we are inside their technology now. This entire battlefield belongs to the humans. White medium star stellar rewrite phase 2 begins. Aaron checked the final readings. Energy channels stable. Pathway anchored. Rewrite field at 71%. He nodded. Begin phase 2. The entire human fleet brightened as if the ships were absorbing the star's very soul. Waves of golden light rippled out, shaking space itself. Dominion ships drifted helplessly like toys in a current. Mara watched with wide eyes. Sir, What happens in Phase 2? Aaron replied. We restore the ancient star routes. But isn't that dangerous? Yes, Aaron said, but so is living in a galaxy ruled by fear. White medium star ancient knowledge unlocked. A hologram flickered to life in the center of the bridge, a map of the galaxy but not the one known today. This map was older. It showed hundreds of glowing lines between stars, forming a huge web like a cosmic nervous system. Mara whispered, "What is this?" Aaron answered, "The old star network. Built by the forgotten civilization that came before all of us. Not even the Dominion knows it exists." Mara swallowed. "And we control it?" "For now," Aaron said softly. "The rewrite gives us access. But only temporary. We must complete the activation before the star collapses." White medium star Dominion fear turns to rage. The warlord watched the glowing pathway growing larger, stronger. They are opening routes to the entire galaxy. Routes no one else can access. He slammed his fist down. "If humans gain this power, they will dominate everything." One officer whispered the truth. "Sir, I think they already do." White medium star the star begins to collapse. Suddenly, Horizon 3's alarms changed tone. "Warning. The star is destabilizing. Collapse in 90 seconds. Rewrite energy reaching maximum." Aaron stayed calm. "This is expected. A rewrite always destroys the star behind it." Mara's eyes widened. "But sir, what about the Dominion ships?" Aaron looked at the frozen alien armada. "They chose this battlefield." His voice held no anger, only truth. "They wanted to crush humanity. Instead, they will witness our rebirth." White medium star the passage opens. The rewrite path widened into a giant tunnel of swirling gold. It hummed with ancient power, pulling the human fleet gently toward it. One by one, the rusty ships turned toward the light. The Dominion panicked. "They're leaving. We can't follow. Our engines are locked. Sir, the star is going to explode." The warlord stared in helpless rage. "Humans, what have you become?" White medium star Aaron's final words before entering the path. Aaron stood tall on the bridge. "Human fleet, advance." The ships began moving, entering the shining cosmic road. Just before the Horizon 3 crossed the threshold, Aaron looked at the collapsing star behind them and said softly, "The galaxy called us weak. They mocked our ships. They laughed at our rust." His eyes hardened. "They will not laugh anymore." The Horizon 3 entered the rewrite path. Behind them, the star screamed with collapsing energy, and everything went white. When the Horizon 3 entered the rewrite path, the world outside its windows vanished. No stars. No darkness. No sound. Only swirling gold, flowing like endless rivers of light. The human fleet drifted forward inside the glowing tunnel, their rusty metal shining like polished steel. Every ship hummed with calm power, as if the ancient technology inside them felt at home here. Lieutenant Mara stared outside in silent awe. "It's like, we are inside the heart of the universe," she whispered. Commander Aaron nodded slowly. "This place was not made by nature. Someone built these pathways long before any known species existed." Mara swallowed. "And we're using their road?" Aaron replied, "We are not using it. We are restoring it." White medium star what happened behind them. Outside the rewrite path, in normal space, the dying star finally collapsed. The Dominion watched in horror as the star twisted into a glowing sphere, then exploded like a sun tearing itself apart. A blinding shockwave spread in all directions. Thousands of Dominion ships were thrown into chaos. Some lost shields. Some lost engines. Some were sucked toward the collapsing star. The warlord gripped his seat tightly as alarms screamed. "Hold positions. Keep shields up." His science officer shouted, "Sir, the humans escaped into the rewrite path. We cannot follow." The warlord's eyes burned with fury. "Hunt them. I don't care what technology is needed. Find a way to enter that path." White medium star inside the rewrite path. Back inside the golden tunnel, the human fleet continued gliding forward. No engines were needed. The path itself pulled them gently like a river carrying boats. Suddenly, Horizon 3 sensors beeped. "Sir," Mara said, "the path is changing ahead." A distant shape appeared inside the golden mist, a massive structure floating in the tunnel. It was not made of metal. It looked carved from light itself. Aaron's eyes narrowed. "The gatekeeper station." Mara blinked. "You know what that is?" "Not exactly," Aaron said. "But our ancient records mention something like it, a station that controls which star routes remain open." The structure glowed brighter as the fleet approached. Large patterns on its surface shifted like living symbols. White medium star, the station speaks. As Horizon 3 neared the station, the glowing patterns suddenly stopped. A deep vibration filled the bridge. Then a voice echoed, not through speakers but directly into every human mind. Travelers of the lost world, identify yourselves. Mara gasped and held her head. Sir, this voice, it's inside my mind. Aaron stood tall. He had expected this. This station is ancient. Its creators communicated without sound. The voice spoke again, calm and powerful. Present your key. A golden beam scanned the entire fleet. Every rusty ship glowed in response. Recognition confirmed. Humanity. Last holders of the stellar keys. The crew stared at Aaron in shock. Sir, it knows who we are, Jalen whispered. Aaron nodded. Yes. Our ancestors were here before. That's why the pathways respond to our ships. White medium star, the station opens the next route. The gatekeeper station shifted, rotating layers of glowing energy until a new tunnel formed behind it. This tunnel was darker, deeper, older. The voice echoed again. Proceed, children of Earth. Your path awaits. But before the human fleet could enter the new tunnel, a sudden explosion rippled through the Rewrite path. Mara spun her chair. Sir, something is breaking in from outside. Horizon 3 shook violently. Impact detected. Aaron's eyes widened. Only one species was foolish enough to try breaking into the Rewrite path. The Dominion. White medium star, the Dominion breaches the path. A massive tear opened in the tunnel wall. A Dominion warship forced its way inside, burning from the energy pressure but still pushing through like a wounded animal. Its hull was cracked. Its engine sparked. But it entered. Mara whispered, horrified. They forced a jump drive burst directly into the Rewrite path, risking destruction. Aaron nodded. It seems the warlord is desperate. More tiers opened behind the first ship. 5, 10, 15 Dominion ships forced themselves in, each one damaged but determined. The golden tunnel around them shook violently, threatening to collapse. Aaron shouted, Human fleet, spread formation. Protect the gatekeeper station. White medium star, battle inside the ancient path. The Dominion ships opened fire immediately. Blue plasma bolts shot across the golden tunnel. They moved strangely, bending and twisting due to the tunnel's warped physics. Some bolts curved back and hit the firing ship. Some vanished into thin air. Some struck nearby human ships. Horizon 3 vibrated as a plasma shot hit its hull. Shields down to 60%. Jalen reported. But Aaron was ready. Activate star siphon defense. The human ships released rings of golden energy. When Dominion bolts touched them, the rings absorbed the energy instead of blocking it. Mara smiled. It's working. The tunnel is helping us. Aaron replied. This is our territory. Not theirs. White medium star, Dominion rage grows. A transmission appeared on the screen. The warlord, breathing heavily, glared at Aaron. Human, surrender the path. You do not deserve this power. Aaron answered calmly. Power? This is not power. This is heritage. You hide behind ancient tools, the warlord roared. Your species is weak. Aaron shook his head. We were weak. Until you forced us to wake up. The warlord screamed. I will burn your fleet and take this path for the Dominion. Aaron's eyes narrowed. Try. White medium star, the gatekeeper station responds. Suddenly, the glowing station near them pulsed with energy. The ancient voice echoed again, louder. Intruders detected. Non-key species cannot enter the path. Beams of golden light shot out of the station, striking the Dominion ships. Their engines melted. Their shields shattered. Their navigation systems died instantly. The warlord's voice turned terrified. What is this? Aaron answered softly. The path does not accept invaders. White medium star, the path begins to collapse. But the Dominion's violent entry had damaged the tunnel structure. Alarms blared. Sir, the path is destabilizing. The tunnel is collapsing behind us. We must move now. Aaron pointed forward. All ships, enter the next route. Full speed. The gatekeeper station opened the ancient tunnel again, glowing bright. The human fleet accelerated. Dominion ships struggled behind them, trapped in collapsing golden walls. Aaron gave the final command. Move. This is our destiny now. The Horizon 3 entered the deeper tunnel. And the Rewrite path exploded behind them. The alien commanders on the bridge went silent. No one dared to speak. The strange signal from the human fleet kept growing stronger, changing its pattern every second. It was like a heartbeat, but mechanical, like the pulse of something waking up after a long sleep. Captain Rewrote narrowed his eyes at the hologram. "Is this a weapon?" he asked quietly. His tactical officer shook his head. "No, Captain. At least, not any weapon we understand. The energy is not focused. It spreads in all directions." Rewrote tapped the table with one sharp claw. "Then what are they doing? Their ships are old. Their reactors are weak. They should not have power for anything unusual. And yet, the readings on the screen told a different story. The human ships, rusty, slow, outdated, were starting to glow with a soft golden light. A junior officer whispered, "It almost looks like they are charging something." Another corrected him. "No, it feels like they are awakening something." On the human side, Admiral Rowan stood calmly on his command deck. His officers looked uneasy but hopeful. They knew the truth, this moment was coming. A young communications officer said, "Sir, the alien fleet is sending fear-level alerts. They are confused." Rowan nodded. "They should be." Behind him, the main reactor of the flagship continued to hum. The old metal walls vibrated, not with weakness but with purpose. Humanity had hidden this technology for decades. They had allowed the galaxy to laugh at their rust buckets, had allowed the alien empires to call their ships fossils. They let the universe believe humans were far behind. They sacrificed reputation for safety. They sacrificed pride for secrecy. And now the secret was waking. Admiral Rowan walked to the large observation window. The human fleet floated in space, dimly glowing, perfectly still. "Begin Phase 1, he ordered. A pulse of light burst from the flagship. Not a weapon, not an attack, but a signal. A very old signal. Something ancient. Something tied to humanity's forgotten past. Back on the alien flagship, alarms rang loudly. "Captain, their signal is affecting the nearby star. Its readings are shifting." "What?" "That is impossible," Rewrote shouted. "Stars do not change from simple signals." But they were changing. The star at the center of the system flickered. Its surface rippled as if responding to the humans. Its gravitational pattern twisted slightly, something only legendary technology could achieve. The alien fleet began to panic. "Captain, this is forbidden-level tech. This means—" "Do not say that word," Rewrote growled. But the officer whispered anyway. "This means humanity found star motion technology." The entire bridge froze. This was myth. This was legend. Only the oldest and most powerful civilizations in the universe ever touched the engines of stars. "Lock weapons on the human flagship," Rewrote demanded. "We must stop whatever they are doing." But as the alien ships prepared to fire, their targeting systems failed. All screens flickered. All weapon locks turned to zero. All engines froze. It was as if the star itself refused to let them attack. A slow, rising hum filled space. The human ships were now glowing brighter, like molten metal, burning with internal life. On the human flagship, the old reactor reached full sync. "Phase 1 complete," Rowan said softly. "Prepare Phase 2. His second-in-command asked quietly, "Sir, should we warn them?" Rowan looked at the alien fleet trapped in place. "No. They mocked us for too long. Let them see." Back on the alien flagship, control returned just enough for the panels to display a horrifying message. Gravity lock detected. Source: human fleet. Captain Rewrote felt his heart drop. "How can old ships control gravity?" he whispered. No one had an answer. The human fleet began to move, not forward, not backward, but sideways, as if sliding through space on invisible rails. They weren't using engines. They were using the star's gravity itself, as if it were a rope they could pull. The alien crew watched in total shock. "What kind of ships are these?" an officer whispered. Rewrote finally understood. "They are not rusty ships," he said slowly. "No, they are ancient ships. Older than our empires. Older than our history." He stared at the glowing hulls of the human fleet. They were never weak. They were sleeping. The star pulsed again. Phase 2 began. And the galaxy's destiny started to break open. The alien flagship fell into complete silence. No one dared to breathe too loudly as the human fleet drifted through space with impossible smoothness. There were no engine flames, no thrusters, no propulsion of any kind. They moved as if space itself carried them. Captain Rewrote felt a cold fear in his chest. He had fought pirates, rebels, rogue AI, even star beasts, but he had never seen anything like this. Bring back targeting systems, he ordered sharply. His engineers worked with shaking hands. Captain, we are trying. But the star's gravity is blocking our commands. It feels like the humans are controlling the star's outer layer. Impossible. The roast snapped again. But his voice no longer had confidence. Cracked like thin metal. The hologram updated. A new energy signature appeared around the human ships. Thin golden lines, like cracks of light, spread outward in a web pattern. Sir, those look like gravitational rails, an officer said. The roast stared. Rails? Made of gravity? Yes, Captain. The humans are shaping the star's pull. They are bending it into paths. And moving along them. The truth struck the alien commander like a punch. Humans weren't using engines. The star was pushing them. And they were telling the star what to do. On the human flagship. Admiral Rowan watched the glowing data streams with calm eyes. His science officer spoke quietly. Sir, phase 2 is stable. Gravity pathways are forming cleanly. Good, Rowan replied. Keep energy level at 20%. We do not want to destabilize the system. A younger officer looked nervous. Sir, the aliens think our ships are old. They have no idea what we can really do. Rowan smiled softly. That was the plan. For decades. He placed a hand on the thick metal rail beside him. The ship vibrated differently now, stronger, deeper. Almost alive. These vessels are from the first Exodus, he said. Built long before humanity joined the galactic community. Built when we still experimented with extreme technologies. The officer nodded slowly. And now we are waking those experiments. Yes, Rowan answered. For the first time in centuries. Back to the alien fleet. The alien bridge filled with terrified whispers. What do we do? They have impossible tech. We misjudged humanity. They were hiding. The roast slammed his fist on the console. Enough. We still hold numerical advantage. We still have. Before he finished, every alarm in the room activated at once. Beep, 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 beep. Captain, an officer screamed. The star is shifting again. All eyes turned to the main screen. The star's light dimmed, then brightened, then rotated slightly like a giant eye focusing. And it was focusing on them. A shockwave rippled outward. Not heat. Not radiation. Something far more frightening. A gravitational thrum. The alien ships shook violently. Stabilizers failing. We cannot hold position. Captain, gravity is pulling us toward the humans. The roast dragged himself to the console. Why are they doing this? What do they want? Then a new symbol appeared on the screen. A human symbol. Ancient. Circles connected by lines. A star at the center. What does it mean? An officer asked. The roast swallowed. It is a warning. Human fleet, phase 2 completion. Admiral Rowan stood tall. Open channel to the alien fleet. His comms officer hesitated. Voice only, sir? Or full display? Voice only, Rowan said. They don't need to see our faces. They just need to understand our power. The officer nodded and pressed a button. Rowan spoke, his voice calm but firm. Alien fleet, you stand inside a star we now control. Your weapons cannot fire. Your engines will not respond. Your ships cannot escape. Silence. The alien officers on the other end did not speak. Rowan continued. Humanity did not come to fight. But if you force war, you will learn what these rusty ships truly are. He paused, letting his words settle like cold metal. Stand down, he said, or be erased by the very star you orbit. Alien reaction. The roast felt his throat tighten. He had mocked these ships. He had called them antiques. He had believed humans were weak. But now he understood the truth. These ships were older than fear. These ships carried technology lost to time. These ships could rewrite space. And humanity was done hiding. The roast lowered his head. Captain, an officer whispered. What choice do we have? The roast said quietly. If they control the star, they control life and death. The alien crew waited for his command. And the galaxy's destiny hung in the balance.